Points for the year. I mean, I think people overdo it. You lose 2 games, and but probably for us, we lost them in similar fashion last year, so that probably made it worse.
And obviously the performance of sort of your big guns, Dave Taylor and July in particular with Victoria's.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's what we need. That's why they're your big name players, and they're the ones who are going to who you want to be the dominant players in your side, while all the other boys get in and do their job.
You did know a spray a couple of weeks back, so he's due.
Yeah, Dave played strongly last week as well, but yeah. So and I think he played a lot of time, so I think he's heading in the right direction.
Yeah, obviously it's always going to be taking some time to find his feet, but a lot to like about tonight.
There was, and people underestimate. We had a very tough preparation for this season. Quite a few, there's about 5 or 6 of the boys hadn't trialled at all. Our last trial was 3 weeks before the first fixture because of the Charity Shield being brought early, so the Dragons could go to England. So, and a lot of the boys were grossly underdone. So it was always going to be tough. But having said that, as I said earlier, we made some of the same mistakes that we've been making for the last few years. So there's some excuses, but we've got to learn to focus over that 80 minutes, and I thought it was an improvement tonight.
Given sort of Greg's appraisal of his own performance over the first 2 weeks, were you fairly confident that he bounced back a little tonight?
Yeah, I was happy with his game in the first game. He's probably the one who's grossly underdone. Sorry, in his preparation. I thought he did a good job in the first game. I knew he wouldn't be able to get heavily involved, but he did the job. Scored a good try, going for a high ball that day. Last week it was a poor game from him, but this week I think he really stepped up and showed the sort of footballer that he is.
Yeah, it is. It's been quite frustrating over the last couple of weeks, not coming out with the 2 points. But tonight I felt the boys worked hard all week. They prepared well. Guys like GI got criticised throughout the week about his performance, and he took it on board, and he came out tonight, and I was happy with the way he performed. Reece Wester too, and the 2 points, we needed that, and we're happy with it.
Do you think that they were responding to that criticism?
Yeah, I know for sure throughout the week GL was disappointed, and I know Reece was. Obviously there was a lot of stuff in the papers, but I knew I was confident throughout the week, just the way he was training, the way he was talking, and throughout videos and when we were out on the paddock, that he was going to come out, and he turned up real early today and just showed how committed he was to performing tonight.
Roy, did you feel like some of the criticism was a little bit heavy, given that it did go down just to 2 sides that they were pretty hot games and they were pretty close?
Yeah, I thought so. It was just we lost 2 games and it was only round 2, and it felt like it was the end of the season. It felt like before it was round 26 or something. So we were confident in our ability to come back, and we knew it was only 2 losses, and we had 22 games to go, and started with tonight against Parramatta. We just needed to come out and obviously silence those critics, but even though we performed well tonight, we need to do it on a consistent basis.
Were you concerned when you get a lead that come back and score more after lunch?
Yeah, I was probably happy. I was quite happy to be 12-all in some ways. I think if we had had a lead, we might, it might have been all that good for us. But I was confident that we'd play the game out. Today, Roy's done a great job during the week. He took the boys through the video on Tuesday, Roy, I think it was. Whenever it was when we had that. I know we had it on Monday. And after they'd had their review, Roy took the boys through the video. We had a good training session on Wednesday, and then Roy ran most of the session last night. So I think he showed great leadership quality, and I thought, I thought the boys would step up, and they did.
Did you have Roy do that much last year?
Not really. I mean, it's just one of those things. Roy's job's to play, but I just sort of felt that. you know, I told them what I could tell them, and they had to really grab the bit themselves, and Roy was obviously the one to sort of lead that.
John, how important was it, do you think, when they had through more Sigmund in that second half, that you took advantage or made most of that?
Oh, look, I don't know, and be perfectly honest, I'm not that worried about it. I mean, you know, you go out there every week and you do your best. We've got, you know, my concern is we've got the 2 points. That's what we came here to do, and I think it'll be a boost for our confidence as well. But I don't kid myself that all of a sudden we're playing tremendous football, you know, and we weren't, you know, we weren't as bad as a lot of people made out. And I've got to say, with the press coverage, one thing I will say is that I think some of it was mischievous, and I think it's a bad trend in journalism. I try and treat you people with respect, but I don't think it's always returned.
What specifically, Lee?
I think just people, you know, I think there are articles there and things said that were untrue, and I think it was mischievous, and I don't mind criticism, but I don't like people coming up with things that are incorrect. Well, one thing was about blokes arguing on the field. I haven't seen any of it. You know, that there was supposed to be no team spirit there. I said to a few of the boys who were training, a few of the journos who were training on, was that Wednesday, I said, what do you think? They were asking me about it. I said, what do you think? You're here today. What do you think the feeling was amongst the boys? There's a great feeling amongst these boys. And it just, you know, I think it's very poor journalism. It's cheap shots to try and make out something that's not there. How's Reece? Reece has had a tight hamstring all week, and it's just tight. Hopefully he'll be right next week. He hasn't torn it. Pardon? Isaac was concussed, yep.
How bad is the concussion he looked at?
Oh, well, he's fine now, jumping all around the place, but obviously, you know, you'll have to be checked in that during the week. But he got the really, you know, big knock.
How much scope do you reckon you got, Langy, in terms of what you've achieved, you know, tonight, and then how much you can improve?
Well, the thing is that what we've got to do is be consistent over the 80 minutes.
Did you think you did that tonight? Or?
No, not to what we need to do. Not to what we need to do, but I think it was a step in the right direction. If you look, you know, and I think if we can get really consistent over the 80 minutes, is that, you know, that will be a very good football side.
Roy, that criticism, is that a sign of the expectations now on this club and how they've changed since, I suppose, you first came to the club years ago?
I don't know. I think it's easy to criticise when you lose 2 games in a row. You know, for us, we weren't overly concerned, or we know not to take any of that on board, and just, we know we've got great team spirit, and all we've got to do is just work between each other and as a team to get through this. And tonight I thought the boys showed it out there, even though you know, still a lot of improvement to do. But like Lang said, it's a step in the right direction.